Hey guys, it's me. Today I'm going to teach you how to draw Rayman from Rayman Legends. Today for this drawing, all you need is a simple number 2 pencil with an eraser in case of mistakes, and of course, a handy-dandy pencil sharpener. Let's begin. First step, you need to draw a simple baseline on the paper. Don't worry, this baseline will soon be erased. This line is made so we can make the 2 shoes for Rayman. We're going to start with the feet, then go on to the body, hands, and then the head itself. So all we need to do is for those shoes is make tiny little hills or bumps, if you will. And then we're going to start out with the body, which is just a simple little cylinder-like shape. This is a sketch, so all we need to do is make simple shapes. And then, once we get more in-depth in the drawing, we're going to go ahead and add more detail. But that's not yet. This is now. So make a simple little cylinder, and then right here we're going to make the hands, which is start out with simple little circles. Sketch out circles for the hands. Now, the right hand is tinier than the left hand, which is just going to be a peace sign. You'll see that further in the video. So, for the fingers, just make little tiny sausage-like fingers. It doesn't really matter. So, how do you guys like Rayman Legends? I just downloaded it for free on my Xbox One. Haven't really played it that much, but I think it's a good game. So, now we are continuing on the big hand, or the left hand. This hand is going to be the form of a peace sign. Rayman's going to give you the peace sign. Now all you need to do is just make a bigger circle than the right hand, and then you're going to make two big fingers, which are going to be outwards from each other. Now, these hands might look like they're connecting, but Rayman has no legs, nor arms, nor neck. So, this was what makes the character so unique. I like this character because he doesn't have a neck, arms, or legs. It's kind of like the unusual, but I like that sort of thing. Again, it's uniqueness. And then we're starting out with his head. Basically just make a round circle, and then we're going to go ahead and connect that with the nose, which again, just a circle. There's a round ovalish kind of shape right there. And then we're going to connect the little cheek or jaw. We're going to go ahead and make the head of Rayman. I always like doing heads and faces of characters. I just, bodies and stuff are important like that, but I just love doing the faces. Alright, well, that is our sketch right there, and here's a little overview of it. You can pause the video to observe. And now we are on to the detailing part, which is my favorite. So basically, what I just did right there is erase the baseline. Now, after you're done with your sketch, you're going to have to erase any rough lines and stuff. Now, I'm adding details into the feet, like the soles and the shoes, and there is a black dot on the shoes too. Well, on the left shoe, there's only one dot. The other dot on the right shoe is not showing because the character is at a different angle. Now after this, we are of course going to shade. Now if you want to color this, I would recommend not shading it with a pencil. I recommend shading this with colored pencils. Don't use crayons, because crayons can get really messy, and colored pencils are much more divine and neat when coloring a picture. As you can see, I'm adding detail into the gloves. This makes the drawing much more realistic. Well, not realistic because it's a video game character, but it makes it more detailed. And if you need to erase any rough lines, do so, and darken in the lines as well. Like I did right there, I darken in the outlines on the hands and the body and the rest of the drawing. So now I'm continuing to the peace sign, the left hand. as you can see, a little pattern here. We are starting with the feet, then the hands, then the body, so we're working our way up to the head. And right here, I'm actually forming the fingers itself. It's pretty simple. It's just mostly roundish blocks for this drawing. It's pretty simple. I will make complex drawings in the future, but this is good for the beginners that are new to drawing or like to draw but are not that capable of it. You can pause the video at any time to observe any details I put in here. These are just like the folds in his gloves that I'm adding right now. And now I am continuing on the body. Now you want to erase that top line right there because Rayman has a hoodie and the hood is like right there where I just raised that line. Now you just want to make a V shape, and then you want to make a V shape hoodie like so. And then just make a little circle where his neck would be, but he has no neck. Then you're going to make the little strings down near to the end of his body, but not too close. Again, simple shapes, just make little squares right there. Now you can see we are making Rayman. Now, behind the strings itself will be his iconic little white circle. So you want to be careful, you don't want to intercept any lines with the strings itself, so take your time on this, and if you have to erase, don't worry. You know, everyone makes mistakes, especially on drawings and even portraits, so it's fine, nobody's perfect. So, that's it for the body right there. Now going to my favorite part, which is the head. Of course, I'm darkening the lines, shaping the head itself. And it's good to have an image as a source image. I would recommend Google Images or Bing. Now, as you can see, I'm shaping the mouth and the jaw right there. Of course, Rayman has a nice little smile right there. And guys, I got this all from a Google Images. You want to make sure that the image that you're drawing from is a high-res photo. Now, right here for the nose, it's roundish on the ends, but to the top, to the point, it has a little bit of a sharp point right there. Now, continuing on, again, erase any rough lines you have, erase any sketch lines. Now, I can do this without sketching, but, of course, for beginners, they need to understand, hey, I can't learn this drawing from scratch, I need to, you know, look from it from a sketch and then continue. So it's kind of like baby steps. So I just drew a line for the teeth right there. He has a little tooth smile. And then I'm continuing on the hair, and the hair was actually a pain in the ass. The hair is kind of a pain. I would picture this to make it easier for you guys. Maybe rough, rugged waves or something. I don't know. It's just rough hair, and it is kind of hard to make because I also have to take in consideration for Rayman's head, which is just 2 eyes. So take your time on this one. Don't feel discouraged. It's actually kind of a little complicated. It's the most complicated part of this drawing video, but hey, you know, once you take your time and you perfect what you want to perfect, then you know it doesn't look that bad, and it'll look good only if you take your time. So guys, how do you like Rayman Legends? Do you think it's a good game? Do you think it's a bad game? I want to know what you think. You can comment down in the comment section below. But I personally like Rayman, and I only played the first level. See, I'm not that kind of a side-scroller adventure type guy. I usually play Grand Theft Auto 5 or Call of Duty or something like that, you know, more violent shooting games, but you know, this game is nice once in a while. It's like my first side-scroller game on my Xbox, and it's pretty fun. I highly recommend it. But that's that, and down to the drawing. Now, right here, I had to erase. Like I said, this part was a pain in the butt to make. and I had to change some stuff up, make the nose longer. So you'll have that. You can't just go everything based on a sketch. You might need to make some adjustments or fixes, if you will, and that's always good to have an eraser, because if you're drawing something with an eraser without an eraser, then you're going to have a lot of problems. So this is the basic shape of the head. Now you want to add some details into the hair as well. Again, you can pause the video for that. Now I am shaping the head itself. Now make sure you have enough room for the eyes, even though the pupils themselves are actually very, very small. And the eyebrows are thick on the top, but they are actually thin once going down the sides and to the bottom. Now, once we get to shading, this drawing is going to look fantastic. Again, if you want to color this drawing with colored pencils, I recommend not shading it with a pencil, shade it with colored pencils. And now I am making the eyes, which are just tiny little eyes. Don't make them too big, alright, because I saw a box art of probably one of the first Rayman games, and it looked really creepy. Rayman's eyes were really bulgy and big, and I understand it was the first depiction of Rayman, and don't worry, I understand, but he looks much better, much cartoonish, much more adventurous, and I don't know, I just like the look. So there we go, there is Rayman. Now off to the shading. So, like I said, I got this from a high-res Google photo. Of course, you can go to Bing's or any search engine that will allow you to look up images or photos. And this is good so you can observe the details in the actual drawing itself. Now, as you can see, you don't have to go by the photo. If you are really good with shading and you like to do a lot of detail, then that's fine. If there's places in the drawing, like the fingers or the body, that you think needs more shading than the photo is giving you, then go ahead. But here's the thing, too much shading can kill a drawing, and that's not good. You want to add shading, but not a bit of shading, not like a whole crapload of shading. Of course, you want to darken in that little circle for the hoodie where Rayman's neck would be. He has no neck. Now you can see the drawing is more in-depth and detailed than before. It's good to do this step by step, first with a sketch, then with a more detailed drawing, and then add in the details, and then go ahead and shade. I recommend shading. Shading is another one of my favorite parts of drawing. And it makes the picture pop. It makes it look like you put a lot of work into this, even though it's a simple drawing full of, circles and different kinds of simple shapes. But hey, it looks good. So, good job on your part. Of course, then I am shading on the face. Surprisingly, the head doesn't really require that much shading. Of course, you want to shade the nose. And then you don't need to shade in the teeth. And make sure once you're shading the lower jaw of Rayman, you're not going to give him a beard. I learned that the hard way. And then you're going to shade a little bit of his hair, not too much. Now, there are parts of the body that you want to color in if you're using just a pencil and not colored pencils. If you're using just a pencil, then just lightly color in Rayman's body. Or I have this rubbing technique where you can just put, maybe write a little dot on your page and then rub that dot of lead on your finger and then rub maybe some coloring or shading on the drawing itself. But it can smudge a lot, so it's not really a perfected technique, but hey, it's a technique nonetheless. And as you can see, I am darkening the outlines on his hair. And if you look, just stop what you're doing and look back at your drawing and see if you need to perfect any lines, erase any sketch lines that you missed, and stuff like that. Now, these two pupils I forgot to mention are actually just stuck together. Now, guys, I hope you enjoy this little video right here. So, if you want more videos like this, go ahead and sub, comment, fave, and all that good shiz-biz. Now, if this tutorial wasn't detailed enough for you, or it didn't help you in the slightest, then I do apologize. But maybe you just need to look back at the drawing and maybe just take your time. But hey, more drawing videos are on their way, so don't worry about that. The next one will be Little Pac-Man. I'm going to draw Pac-Man for the new movie that's going to come out named Pixels, so look out for that. And here's an overview of the drawing. Good old Rayman. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Peace.